In this video, we will talk about how World War I did not start overnight. It was the result of a complex web of political, economic, and social factors that had been building for decades. One of the key causes was nationalism, which is a strong sense of pride and loyalty to one's nation. In the early 20th century, many European countries were fiercely nationalistic, leading to competition and rivalry between nations. This was especially evident in regions like the Balkans, where different ethnic groups wanted independence from larger empires like Austria-Hungary and the Ottoman Empire. Nationalism created tension and made countries more willing to go to war to defend their interests. Another major cause was imperialism, which refers to the practice of powerful countries taking control of weaker territories to expand their empires. By the early 1900s, European powers like Britain, France, and Germany had colonized large parts of Africa, Asia, and the Middle East. This competition for colonies created mistrust and rivalry between nations, as each country sought to increase its power and resources. The desire for more land and influence often led to conflicts, both small and large. Militarism also played a significant role in the lead-up to World War I. Militarism is the belief that a country should maintain a strong military and be prepared to use it aggressively. In the years before the war, many European nations began building up their armies and navies. Germany, in particular, was competing with Britain to build the most powerful navy, which increased tensions between the two countries. The arms race created an atmosphere of fear and suspicion, as countries prepared for the possibility of war. The system of alliances further complicated the situation. To protect themselves, countries formed partnerships with other nations. The two main alliances were the Triple Entente, France, Russia, and Britain, and the Triple Alliance, Germany, Austria-Hungary, and Italy. These alliances meant that if one country was attacked, its allies would come to its defense. While alliances were meant to prevent war, they actually made it more likely, because a conflict between two countries could quickly drag others into the fight. This system of alliances turned a local dispute into a global war. The immediate spark that ignited World War I was the assassination of Archduke Franz Ferdinand of Austria-Hungary. On June 28, 1914, the Archduke was killed in Sarajevo, Bosnia, by a Serbian nationalist named Gavrilo Princip. Austria-Hungary blamed Serbia for the assassination and declared war. Russia, an ally of Serbia, mobilized its army to defend Serbia. Germany, an ally of Austria-Hungary, declared war on Russia. France, an ally of Russia, was then drawn into the conflict. When Germany invaded Belgium to attack France, Britain declared war on Germany. By August 1914, Europe was at war, and the conflict quickly spread to other parts of the world. Major battles of World War I. World War I was fought on multiple fronts, including the Western Front, France and Belgium, the Eastern Front, Germany versus Russia, and in the Middle East, Africa, and at sea. The Battle of the Marne, 1914, halted Germany's advance into France, ending their hopes of a quick victory and leading to trench warfare. The Battle of Verdun, 1916, one of the longest and bloodiest battles, saw over 700,000 casualties and became a symbol of French resistance. The Battle of the Somme, 1916, resulted in over 1 million casualties with little territorial gain, highlighting the futility of trench warfare. The Gallipoli Campaign, 1915 to 1916, failed due to Ottoman resistance and poor planning, causing heavy Allied losses. The Battle of Jutland, 1916, the largest naval battle, ensured British control of the seas, crucial for blockading Germany. The Third Battle of Ypres, Passchendaele, 1917, was infamous for its muddy, horrific conditions and heavy casualties. In 1918, Germany's spring offensive initially succeeded but ultimately exhausted their resources. The Allies' 100 Days Offensive, August-November 1918, forced Germany to retreat, leading to the armistice that ended the war. These battles underscored the immense human cost and strategic complexities of World War I. Consequences of World War I. World War I had far-reaching consequences that shaped the 20th century and beyond. One of the most immediate and devastating consequences was the human cost. Over 16 million people died, including soldiers and civilians. Millions more were wounded, and many suffered from physical and psychological scars for the rest of their lives. The war left entire communities devastated and created a sense of loss that lasted for generations. The war also led to significant political changes. Several empires collapsed, including the German Empire, Austro-Hungarian Empire, Russian Empire, and Ottoman Empire. New countries were created, such as Poland, Czechoslovakia, and Yugoslavia. The Russian Revolution of 1917 led to the rise of the Soviet Union, the world's first communist state. These changes reshaped the political map of Europe and the world. In 1919, the Treaty of Versailles was signed, officially ending the war. The treaty placed full blame for the war on Germany and imposed harsh penalties, including reparations, payments to the Allies, loss of territory, and limits on Germany's military. The treaty left Germany humiliated and economically weakened, which contributed to the rise of Adolf Hitler and the start of World War II. The League of Nations was created after the war as an international organization to prevent future conflicts. While it was a noble idea, the League was weak and ineffective, and it ultimately failed to stop World War II. However, it laid the groundwork for the United Nations, which was established after World War II. The war also had a significant economic impact. The cost of the war devastated the economies of Europe. Countries were left in debt, and the cost of rebuilding led to economic instability. The Great Depression of the 1930s was partly a result of the economic fallout from the war. The war also disrupted global trade and led to inflation and unemployment in many countries. Social changes were another consequence of the war. Women took on new roles in the workforce while men were away fighting, which helped advance women's rights and led to suffrage, the right to vote, in many countries. The war also led to a sense of disillusionment and loss of innocence, as people realized the horrors of modern warfare. Many soldiers returned home with physical and psychological scars, and societies struggled to cope with the aftermath of the war. The war also saw significant technological advancements. New technologies such as tanks, airplanes, machine guns, and chemical weapons were introduced and changed the nature of warfare. These advancements made the war more deadly and highlighted the destructive potential of modern technology. Finally, the war planted the seeds of future conflicts. The harsh terms of the Treaty of Versailles and the unresolved tensions in Europe led to the rise of extremist movements, including fascism in Italy and Nazism in Germany. Many historians view World War I and World War II as part of a single, continuous conflict, with the First War setting the stage for the Second. World War I was a turning point in history. It was a war unlike any other, marked by unprecedented destruction and loss of life. The origins of the war lay in a complex mix of nationalism, imperialism, militarism, and alliances, while the major battles showcased the brutality and futility of trench warfare. The consequences of the war were profound, reshaping the political, economic, and social landscape of the world. While the war officially ended in 1918, its impact was felt for decades. The Treaty of Versailles, the rise of new nations, and the economic and social changes that followed set the stage for the turbulent 20th century. World War I serves as a reminder of the devastating consequences of conflict and the importance of diplomacy and cooperation in preventing future wars. As we reflect on the Great War, we must learn from its lessons to build a more peaceful and just world. What do you think of our video? Let me know in the comments section below. If you enjoyed this video, make sure to hit that like button. Also, subscribe to our channel before you go. Thank you for watching.